So I think we probably kick off. So I think that's just what I'll do. So yeah, I think there's some pretty exciting things going on. I guess probably worth starting with Sector, who's doing their public sale on Camelot. Seems to be going well. We're really excited about those guys. If you're not familiar, Sector is a risk-adjusted structure product that allows users to invest based on their risk preferences. And with all the USDC stuff that was happening just a little while back, actually, Sector and their risk engine did a pretty good job of sort of maintaining delta neutral positive returns. So we're really, really excited for those guys. Super smart guys out of New York. And I think they're going to be whipping up all sorts of interesting stuff as time goes on. So that sale's going on for another 24 hours. And like I said, it seems to be going well. So we're really excited and happy for the Sector team. I should probably mention Wind, who will have a big announcement next week. It's been, everybody knows ZeroX Dre, who's been part of the New Order team and has now been leading Wind. A lot of developments there, but look out for a big announcement next week.
Is that an announcement of an announcement, Eden?
Yes, it is.
I think we're going to have a few today, actually, to set expectation. We have a few announcements of announcements, all good things. Yeah.
That's kind of our job, to be the announcement of announcements DAO. So keep an eye out there. That is a project that has massive potential, massive. I would not sleep. All of our projects, I think, we're very, very bullish on. But Wind is could be a monster, and Andre is one of the very, I think, smartest people to kind of walk through New Order, right? And we kind of all, I think I look at New Order a lot as this sort of applied MIT, where really smart people come do research and we launch big ideas. And so keep an eye out for Wind, and I think there's sort of a lot of people sort of circling it as well. So that's a second thing that I wanted to mention, the announcement of the announcement. The third thing that's probably, I think, we should be looking out for, which is really exciting, is we will be launching a new website and brand next week. And I think this brand reflects kind of where New Order's at. We started off, I think, kind of new and degen, and I think progressively we're becoming a real true venture platform, that has upwards of 20 projects that have launched off our platform. And I think you're going to see a cleaner look, and also I think a look that's a little bit sort of on the edgier side as well. That's just sort of the progressive sort of a reflection of the progressive community and group that we are. So I think a lot of people will be very excited by how we're going to be sort of presenting ourselves to the world starting next week. So keep an eye out for that.
Just to be clear, we're still New Order, right? And it's just just a refreshed brand, right? We're not changing names.
Oh yeah,
right?
Absolutely. We're not changing names. It's just it's a brand change. So,
by the way, I've seen it, and it's not to oversell it, but it's amazing.
Yeah, I would argue that it's I think New Order has probably established itself as like as one of its strengths being brand building. If you think of like Redacted and Y2K and Sector, Motherboard, I think the brand that we're coming out with next week, I think, is a reflection of like, kind of how we think we can establish like a really powerful brand over the next year or so, as New Order. So it was kind of due, but I think we've just been obviously heads down building for the past 15 months. And now that we've got like a I think increasingly compelling story to tell, I think this brand is going to be like a pretty awesome reflection of that. So Merrick, I'll hand it to you for DAO updates.
Yeah, for sure. And just to be clear, if people are wondering how I was, was wondering about the name, if there's going to be a name change, is good. I've seen the work on the site. I've seen what the new site is going to look like, but not didn't actually focus on the name stuff. So that's why it was just I wanted to know. But yeah, okay, so cool. So regarding the DAO itself, I guess the relevant things are people have probably noticed now, like the people that sort of watch things like that have noticed that butterfly tokens are starting to vest to the New Order treasury, which is really great. And so as part of our work to sort of redistribute that new reward stream that's going to be coming from the staked butterfly, we've had the VNO team, who was like a pleasure to work with last time, group of sort of cool anons. We sort of tapped them to update our reward contracts to sort of make, I would say, life easier, to sort of handle these new, sort of streams that are going to be coming in from various projects, right, that we've been incubating, right? And Eden sort of, alluded to the fact that, it takes, work and time to sort of establish these things. Finally starting, right? I think first a trickle, and then I think before long, hopefully it feels like a fire hose, right? Which would be a good thing. So anyway, the contracts are done, more or less finalized right now. On the technical sub DAO, like on the work server, I understand Argen has a few of the contributors there doing some testing and final like feedback on it, and we've lined up an audit, which I believe it begins Monday. So probably the earliest we would ship all these new contracts and upgrades is I would expect them to be not this coming week, right, but the week after, because I think the audit's going to take a few days minimum. So like don't want to promise things, but I mean obviously those rewards are accumulating, and we're going to get them out to everyone. It's just sort of, I guess, a matter of probably days now. I think we can count it in days safely. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So we are going to be refreshing like the DApp side, right, with new vaults and technologies there and things like that. And as part of that, EPNS push notifications is sort of like running almost, I don't want to say joke, but like we sort of joke about it at the technical sub DAO. It's just seems like it's taking a lot longer than it should. They were undergoing upgrades when we were ready to go, and things have sort of been like this sort of awkward teenage dance sort of thing, right? Like that first dance you go to, when you're a teenager, and it's like kind of weird. So it's been a bit like that, but I think we finally kind of banged things out, ready to finally turn that on, which is probably just as good of a time as any with these new upgrades to like all the different staking options and things like that. So yeah, I guess Eden sort of already leaked like the sort of the refresh, right? The new coat of paint on things, which is really amazing. So that was my other update, but Eden kind of scooped me there, so that's fair enough. He put a lot of work into it too, so I think it's his parade.
Rugged again, Merrick.
Yeah, I get rugged again, so no worries there. So yeah, that's about it. There's some definitely some stuff going on around the DAO, like new proposals and discussions that are really exciting. I don't know if it's like, let's see who we've got on the call right now. Oh yeah, I see Amber's on. So like I would like to go through the different sub DAOs and give updates there. So technical sub DAO has been kind of hard at work. I would say, but like, I think it's time to have another sub-DAO meeting. It's been sort of neglected because everybody's been heads down building. So the next technical sub-DAO meeting is going to be Wednesday, April 5th, 10 a.m. London time. So I think that, for those of you that are tuned into the calendar, you should see that up there. Otherwise, like, we'll make an effort to announce that, make sure, people can find the agenda and stuff on Commonwealth. Treasury and governance sub-DAO. So I know Che's going to probably talk about some stuff later on in the call, but for now, like, I think I'm part of that too. So I think it's going to follow immediately right after the technical sub-DAO call at 11 a.m. London time. There's been some developments, right? Like that was like a sleepless weekend. I remember staying up pretty much all night, like just like while USD was depegging and junk like that. So that was a bit of excitement. Another, knock on wood, another bullet dodged by this DAO. But like, yeah, there'll be some updates and discussions there as well. So please tune into that. I guess, yeah, sorry, Amber's here. So Amber, maybe you can, I know there was supposed to be a venture sub-DAO meeting earlier this week. Maybe you can talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's right, Merrick. Thank you. The next venture sub-DAO meeting is next Monday on the 3rd, and it's 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And Colin, a researcher on the team, is going to lead that venture sub-DAO call. I'm not very sure about agenda, but as I think partially we'll talk about the venture scout program. Basically, anyone can sign up to become a venture scout to source deals for New Order. Just another way to engage the community, and we can all analyze and source teams together. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, thank you for that update, Amber. And I guess this is maybe a topic for like later that we're going to come back to later in this call. But I guess due to like, let's say like life changes, don't want to dox anything about anyone's like life. Contentu kind of has had to sort of step back a little bit from a lot of their like moderation duties around the DAO. So some of you might have unfortunately noticed like some support tickets are going unanswered. I just noticed a whole bunch, so I'll be trying to circle back to as many as I can. But anyway. In the meantime, I guess we'll circle back to this, but we're going to be sort of like looking for some folks to help us out there a little bit from the community and from other projects, other networks, whatever. So, but anyway, though, the community and marketing sub-DAO was, I guess, supposed to meet. I don't know, Z, do you have any update on that? I'm not putting you on the spot. I guess I kind of am.
The next meeting.
Yeah. When that's happening.
Let me see.
We'll just make sure to update it. If you don't have that on hand, we'll make sure to post that.
It'll be April 20th at 12 p.m. EST.
Okay, fantastic. Auspicious date. That's a meme date. Great day to have a meeting. So cool. Okay, I think that about rounds. Oh yeah, and then we got Chris here from Frogs. Is he here? Yeah, can we invite Chris up? Speak about Frogs and any updates there. Gonna invite him up. I don't know if he's ready. I know sometimes he's trouble with his microphone, so there he is.
Hey guy, I think I got it this time.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just in time, finally got the mic working. I'm here to announce that Frogs is spinning off into a separate entity over the next couple of weeks. We've come a long way over the past year. We kind of hit our stride and come of age in terms of the type of work that we do and what our content and marketing strategies are going forward, and definitely the core group of very talented writers that we have on board. Frogs is on track to have its best month yet in terms of revenue, and we're currently talking with Synthetics, with Badger DAO, with Lewis Cooper, with Factor DAO, and Liquidity is in the process of renewing their annual contract. Our plan going forward is to continue pursuing these content packages with some of the bigger and some of the best teams throughout DeFi, and the future's looking bright. I wanted to make the announcement that over the next couple of weeks, we'll be migrating our content onto our own website, and all the newsletters, everything like that. We'll announce it in our separate Frogs Discord. But I also just wanted to come on to say that I don't think any of this would have been possible without working with such an amazing and talented team as New Order has been. It's definitely, Frogs would be nowhere that it is today without the tutelage of the people at New Order. And on a personal note, I've leveled up enormously from working with such talented people. So I wanted to let everybody know that Frogs will be standing on its own 2 feet pretty soon, and just bid everybody a fawn to do and say thanks to everybody at New Order.
It's not a do, Chris. We'll always be family. It's been great, working, closely with Frogs, and, really excited to see what Frogs is going to achieve in the future.
Yeah, super excited. And I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of collaboration between New Order and Frogs. So, I'm sure we'll bring you around every now and then, Chris. Okay, so let's move to some Basecamp updates. Amber, if you want to run through what's going on with Basecamp 3.
Yeah, happy to do so. So for Basecamp 3, we're busy preparing for the launch early May, which means we have about 4 weeks left in the recruitment cycle. And the application number actually looks pretty healthy at the moment, at around 160. I remember like last Basecamp 2, at the same point of time, we had fewer applications come in. So that's a positive sign. Although, volume is not always indicative of quality, it's nice to have a wider range of selection. So in terms of quality of the teams, it's looking pretty promising. We're moving forward with 10 teams. So we're doing tech DD and issuing them offers. They're very good founders, very interesting use cases. Of course, there will be a negotiation. But as long as we have like 20 strong teams in the pipeline, I'm pretty confident that we're going to have a full cohort. So at least that's what I'm aiming for. Maybe I can give a little bit like a highlight of the teams. One project is doing like a leverage governance platform, so to aggregate and mobilize the governance power of those long tail small token holders. So as we all know, the utilization of governance is not very high. So they create this place for the token holders to generate staking returns, but at the same time also allow people to vote with the whole treasury. So every time one person come to vote, the whole treasury of that particular token will vote with this person. So it's kind of like a design based on game theory. I think if we can help them out, like put it off, it can have a huge upside, a huge impact in the industry too. So really excited about that one. Another one another team is doing insurance. I know it's not the sexiest topic in DeFi, but definitely a very foundational piece of DeFi. So what they do is that they cover the portfolio-based individual insurances instead of insuring like one protocol or one strategy. They segment the risk so that the policies are not subject to like systemic failure. So very experienced traditional insurance team, very unique approach. Got backing from Jump, which is also a positive sign. So fingers crossed that we'll be able to close them. And as we close more and more teams, I'll be able to share more details. I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with the preparation of Basecamp 3.
Wonderful. Okay. So, there's going to be more news that comes out around Basecamp over the next few weeks. As Amber mentioned, next Basecamp starts in May. So next update in April, we probably will have some concrete teams to mention. No promises, but I would imagine that we might have some signed up by then. So that'll be I think something to look forward to next time around. Let's go to Redacted, which is killing it as usual. And so
Sammy's having some connectivity issues. He's saying, I don't know, he can try going off mute or maybe.
Well, Che's usually pretty dialed in, so maybe Che, if you want to start on Redacted, and if Sammy is able to, he could finish off.
Yeah, 100%. I would be happy to sort of help out
Jay,
here.
we're getting a bit of feedback or echo over there.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
No, something. Yeah, you got two mics on or something in some way.
Yeah. Is it okay now?
I think it might be.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Sorry, we are all together here at the office, so there's all of echo going on with all of us being off here. But and from the Redacted standpoint, I think really like Hidden Hand, time and time again, is proving its sort of place in the governance ecosystem and reaching all-time highs virtually every epoch of voting. Pyrex, likewise, we've I would say quite recently launched the GMX PXGMX marketplace and the PXGLP vault as well, where the multiplier points for those positions are accumulating, which consistently sort of makes that opportunity more sweet and more interesting to participate in, as opposed to going and staking GMX outright. So it's sort of a long-term play, considering those multiplier points accumulating and that forwarding the yield from the multiplier points to the whole vault and having more so of like a communal sort of exposure to the multiplier points instead of them being housed in a particular account. So that is going really well, I think, from our perspective. The BD is paramount here, and we're sort of in close contact with all of ecosystem players to participate in those vaults as well. I think the elephant in the room is always Dinero. There's going to be a lot of communication. Don't want to sort of drop unnecessary information that team is going to be communicating themselves, but Dinero is quite close in terms of showcasing the approach to development and really making the intentions for the project public. So definitely stay tuned. That's very soon coming up here. And then, in general, I think like the project has really sort of found PMF in the various products they're introducing, and is consistently growing and really trying to target the largest TAM possible through the likes of Dinero, of course. So that's sort of the biggest, I would say, like Redacted update. And I'll take the courtesy of moving to Y2K as well to cover them a little bit. I think Y2K likewise has been sort of at the center of attention of a lot of the various USDC and stablecoin in general depegs, right, that happened over the past couple of weeks, where the exposure to these risk markets is becoming sort of paramount. Where this niche has been long overdue, considering there is a lot of systemic risk in the stablecoin industry, specifically in decentralized stablecoins that are available, with the exposure to various banking systems and the increase in the federal funds rate, which is sort of causing all of these bank runs, considering the duration mismatches of the bonds and the deposits that are issued. So definitely sort of keep an eye on Y2K as well. I keep on always saying sort of this phrase, but they're moving towards their V2 implementation will become a lot easier in participating in the earthquake markets, where currently their sort of participation is capped to the 2-day deposit period, but now it will be unlocked where at any point in time users could participate in the earthquake vault without having to wait for the end of the deposit period. Sort of increasing the usage of the platform, where the various depegs are driving a lot of attention to the protocol, but there are only sort of 2 days out of the week that are sort of able to funnel in that participation. So with this upgrade, it will be a much sort of better UX for any participants. So yeah, I mean, they've been really killing it over the past seems like a couple of months actually. Like it's been a while since Y2K came out, and it's great to see them being in the forefront of the Arbitrum ecosystem, and obviously receiving the Arbitrum DAO allocation, and really being considered as one of those sort of up and coming projects on the ecosystem. So glad to have had them around for a long time with us and be part of our ecosystem.
Cool.
Yeah, I can If you can mute. Yeah, sorry. Okay, should be good now. Another project, obviously, I just didn't want to sort of rush our conversation here, is Motherboard, where we had a lot of really big product updates that have been currently deployed on testnet. A lot of them are related to the accounting suite that we have. We think, honestly, is best in class with the current product updates that we're introducing, as the platform itself is sort of taking on the position or having the vision of being that go-to DAO tooling platform for any project of sort of any stage in their decentralization roadmap. Where if the project is simply seeking to compensate their contributors, they are able to do so pretty much very seamlessly through the UX of the compensation management dashboards. And then long term, sort of, if they're going down the decentralization pathway, they could, of course, use the native integrated snapshot for governance, and then later introducing on-chain governance, kind of tying everything together with the accounting tooling that is able to use the label-based compensation flows and produce automated accounting, which has been sort of long overdue in our industry, where there's behemoths of DAOs with large treasuries and oftentimes tens and sometimes even hundreds of contributors that are sort of compensated in an obscure Excel CSV format that's uploaded to Gnosis via multisend, which is far from the most optimal way of compensating contributors. And there's actually been a situation with Constitution DAO where somebody slipped in a address into a CSV file, and that was just automatically uploaded to a Gnosis multisend and sent out. So we want to make sure that our industry is robust from a software perspective, where we don't have to rely on these very obscure ways of compensating our contributors, and we're actually generally operating. Where G Suite is sort of taking on a lot of the ways that we interact, and we want to ensure that we have a Web3 native way of aligning incentives and aligning the community and the contributors, ensuring that there is a central piece of software that could be there, and we truly believe that is indeed Motherboard. So yeah, stay tuned for next week and the weeks after. We're going to be introducing a lot of product updates, and we're glad to see a good amount of reception coming our way as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Cool, thanks, Shay. Yeah, as sort of like I would say a habitual user of Motherboard, it really has come a long way in the past few weeks due to diligent user testing and also like the great efforts of the Motherboard team. You know who you are. Cool.
Cool. So let's hand it over to Flat White, who'll give us an H2O update. What's going on with you guys?
Sure, thank you, Iran. I hope you guys can hear me. So, H2O wise, we had Ocean wise, our biggest partner. We have an update where we are in basically a main stage of data farming. The marketplace is currently growing, and we have done a few marketing campaigns with Ocean team. So the overall volume of Poseidon Ocean or staked Ocean and H2O is growing. This month in March, we did have the third tranche for airdrop. It happened about 2 weeks ago, so it was for VNU as well. If you haven't claimed it and you might be eligible, please check out the website. You need to launch the DApp for H2O and then go to the airdrop page. We do have currently a Commonwealth discussion as well as a future snapshot vote regarding the last airdrop, which will be, so the last tranche, which is coming up. So that's going to be the fourth tranche. Our main strategy is basically we want to make sure to benefit the community and the protocol long term. And therefore, we are open to discussion. There were some good points raised, but in the end, it will come down to the snapshot vote. So if you have any other ideas or proposals, please submit them in the discussion or in the Discord channel. Another discussion / snapshot vote that we are currently having is regarding vote locked Poseidon. So we had a few points in the Discord channel made previously regarding potentially moving the main liquidity pool from Poseidon East 50/50 at Uniswap to Balancer, and there was a proposal made on Commonwealth by one of the members of the community, and for now, and then based on that pool, we would launch Vote Lock Poseidon, and basically with a similar structure to Vote Locked and Y2K. Again, this proposal seems to have a very positive feedback from the community. So we are likely to have a snapshot. We are likely to have a snapshot vote first on the VL Poseidon and then the fourth tranche for the airdrop. And last but not least, Poseidon Phil. We are in development process. Filecoin has launched their Filecoin virtual machine earlier this month, and we are in the development. So we've started announcing partnerships, and the launch for Poseidon Phil, which is a liquid staking derivative of Filecoin, is planned for the end of April. So please stay tuned. We have a few things coming up. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just let us know in the Discord channel. Thank you.
All right. Cool. So I think we've covered most things. Merrick, is there anything on the bootcamp, upcoming bootcamp that you want to update, or you want to save it for next time?
I think what we can say about it for now is like we're taking into account, a lot of the feedback from the groups that sort of stuck with us and completed the boot camp. I see some of you are around the call today. Just like rest assured, we're going to get around to like the I guess the completion rewards for completing our first official boot camp. I think to be TBH, like the NFTs are going to probably take a little while because we want to get those right. I think, I think there's supposed to be like a little bit of like a small purse, like for like a Nuo prize that's going to be going out. That'll come sooner. And t-shirts, I'm still actually waiting. I'm kind of like the quality of the shirts. I don't want to oversell the shirts, but the quality is good. But they just take like forever. I'm just kind of upset about how long they're taking, but pleased with the quality. So we're still wrapping up some of the stuff from Bootcamp 1. Bootcamp 2, the current thinking is, I think we want to tighten up the topics and content, do it maybe over 4 weeks, and kind of maybe have it a little bit more intensive that way, and also at the same time kind of like focused on like a particular topic. So a lot of it's up in the air. We will run the Bootcamp again, but probably won't be till like later in Q2, since we're still in a way wrapping up some of the loose ends from the first bootcamp, which was cool, right? So once again, congrats to all the groups that pitched, wide variety of interesting topics, that were pitched. It was really super tough to like actually choose a winner and the finalists, because basically the judges were like deadlocked. Like there was just aspects of every project that someone argued for. So kudos to all the groups that presented. So a great outcome from that. I guess that's so. Stay tuned for more bootcamp. I guess updates. Bootcamp 2.0 is coming.
Okay, sounds good. Cool. So that is the March update for the New Order community. As usual, appreciate everybody's sort of efforts and interest, and we're just going to keep building away, keep building the what we think is going to be applications, protocols, marketplaces that are going to be a big part of the next crypto super cycle. That's kind of we're really, I think, trying to push the forefront in most of the things that we're doing here. So we appreciate, of course, everybody's support, and Of course, be on the lookout for all the exciting updates coming up next week and throughout the month. So, thanks everybody. And we'll keep you posted on developments.
Hopefully between now and then we see some of you out at the sub-DAO calls. So until then.
All right. Thanks everybody.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time.